Hi, it's Dwyer. June the 11th, 2025. Money1776.com, a free site. Also, always 1776.com, a free site. Nothing I say in this video should be construed as investment advice. I want everyone to do their own due diligence. Remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. Some stories in the news that might interest investors. Understand AI moves fast. Keeping up is an impossible task, but let's try. Right, Meta has bought 49% of Scale AI for $14.8 billion in cash, right, to allay antitrust oversight. Just understand, Meta bought 49% of the company, right? 49%. The price is a little bit surprising given that Scale AI's Series F round from just last year, 2024, valued the entire company, not 49% of it, but the entire company, at $13.8 billion. Right now, the valuation is at $30 billion based on Meta's $14.8 billion purchase of 49% of the company. Understand what Scale AI is very effective at doing. They're excellent by reputation at labeling and curating large data sets for AI purposes. Right? So here you have Meta paying a lot for a data moat versus competitors. Let's point out one more part that should be considered. Scale's CEO, Alexander Wang, will join Meta to lead a new AI project. I think Meta's moves show you how anxious the players are in Silicon Valley to keep up with each other. Let's talk about two other players. OpenAI forming a partnership with Google Cloud. Now this is interesting because understand, OpenAI, which of course runs ChatGPT, will be a huge customer for Google Cloud. Huge. That's great revenue for Google going forward. Let me also point out too that OpenAI's investors include Microsoft, right? So this deal can be viewed as OpenAI diversifying away from Microsoft. Note that Microsoft has its own extremely vibrant cloud computing department, but OpenAI has chosen to align with Google. Let me, it's early in the morning, not yet 5:15 a.m., and I'm getting calls. Such is modern life. Let's also point out that the deal, of course, has a a non-disclosure component, right? Obviously, I'm losing composure here, but just understand that the deal is a little bit of a hush-hush type deal where the information is limited. Let me point out something else that must be noticed by the public. ChatGPT is really a competitor to the older, more traditional Google search, right? Let me point out that the industry is evolving now towards AI, and that includes Google, which of course has had a lot of success embedding AI results in its Google search, right? So just be aware of that development. I believe the news is extremely bullish for Google. The news also shows you the level of trust right now in the industry, right? OpenAI is trusting Google to, you know, not sabotage its operation, right? And of course, Google is cultivating OpenAI as a client, even though OpenAI is clearly a competitor. Let's look at Google a little bit more closely. Let me also point out, too, that your assumption should be that I own several of the stocks that I'm discussing and am seeking to profit from that ownership. Again, you should trust no one. The opinion you should follow should be your own. Let's talk about Google, and let me point out that I've made earlier videos here online talking about how Google's PE looks very favorable to me. Google has been a good investment recently for me. Let's talk about Google's constant efforts, and I applaud them. I believe this is extremely bullish for Google in streamlining its operations, and that includes buying out employees, right? Just understand that Google, on an ongoing basis, and we'll just go through some of the waves that have taken place just this year, 2025. They've been buying out different divisions of employees, right? So understand, in January of this year, their platforms and division group, platforms and devices group, which covers about 25,000 employees. The number who accepted the buyout is unclear, but just understand they were offered buyouts, right? In February, the people operations, the HR group, and the cloud group were offered buyouts. Well, now, in June, you have the knowledge and information group. That includes search, ads, and commerce. You have the central engineering group working on core infrastructure. And you have the marketing, research, and communication groups. These are more non-technical roles. They've been offered buyouts. And understand, the buyouts are a minimum of 14 weeks salary, an additional week of salary per year of service, right? Some continuation of health insurance, investing of stock options. Just understand that AI has changed the game. You shouldn't view these buyouts as a sign that Google is in decline. I believe the opposite is true. I believe that AI has obviated the need for many workers, right? Let me also point out that there's been a change at Google from the COVID era, where there was, the encouragement of a work from home culture. Now, of course, workers many of them who live within a 50-mile radius of Google, are to return to the office for at least 3 times a week, right? Folks, I believe AI is going to disintermediate many workers in the general economy. It's impressive to see how far ahead of the curve Google is in terms of streamlining the number of workers it has. This is going to be almost like an annuity in terms of every pay cycle. After workers pass through the buyout program and are no longer on payroll, every pay cycle, this should hit Google's bottom line, right? Google should get some savings from the streamlining.
You're asking a very relevant question about Google's financial strategy. Like any large
insurance company, well, Google Alphabet is looks like my AI in the background here is rebelling. Let me sign off here. We'll revisit what's happening in the world of tech on an ongoing basis. Thanks for stopping by.